Welcome back everyone, this is Frank Whiskey Charlie Zero Oscar. This video is about installing the Thule crossbars for a Subie Outback Wilderness trim. This particular genuine Subaru part, you can get it at the Subaru dealership. Here's the PN number for it. These are not inexpensive. So if you feel like buying some of these, get a coupon from their dealer website. Sometimes you can get up to 20%. Now right here we have the bars, 2 bars with mounts on them already installed. Some other pieces for the ends of these bars, and also a lock. It has 4 locks, so you can lock it in to your to your bars. Some instructions are going to be very useful. And then some type of card, I guess. But the instructions, they're not that great. They're just pictures. And I had to sort of figure it out, how to put these. That's why we have this video. Now, it comes with some plastic sheeting. You're going to have to split into 2. And then you put it on the top of the crossbar. There's some videos and there's some examples, a very weak example really on the instructions. But basically it does have its own side, so you got to put it in the correct side. You can see that it will have some arrows, and the arrows will go on the fat side, and then the other sheet of plastic will be going on the other side, the thinner side of the crossbar. So they go all the way across, and you'll find out that there's some of them you might have to cut some pieces. But again, the arrows also have to point the right way. In this case, they are pointing away from the Thule symbol, and they're pointing towards the fat end of the crossbar. And here are the directions, trying to get the directions, and you can see that there's a certain position that you need to do. Gives you some guide, but they do fit nicely. You just have to take your time to make sure they fit snug. Sometimes you'll see some openings, make sure you close them. Now I have read a little bit that this plastic sheeting will help in terms of the sound at which the air will go through this particular crossbar. Not like in the old days where the crossbars, when you put them on, they had this like whistling sound. This turned out pretty good actually, and it should, based on the price. As you can see right there, I'm pointing the arrows away from the Thule. And the second time around, it's a little bit easier. And there's still a little piece left that you have to cut, which I didn't do a great job, by the way. I used my pocket knife to cut that end. And after you cut that, and now you're going to put the ends, they fit correctly. So you got to figure out which one goes where. You can see the button in the middle, and you can press that down to pop that out. Here you can see I did it on this one. You can see there's that button that pops in to keep it secure. Because I only have one hand, the other one's holding the camera, I can't quite show you how to put it in, but you gotta like snap it in there. Now you can see on the other side, you have to cut away the plastic so you can put in the end. You can't put it without cutting the plastic. And you can see here, I didn't do a super great job on cutting that, but it looks okay. And it looks like there's a little defect that came. Here's another look of the horrible job I did in cutting that. It doesn't look that great, but good enough for government work. Okay, and so here are my 2 rails, and I put the connections Now on the other side, this is where the lock goes. And apparently you have to like pop the hole. There's a lot of things I don't understand why Thule doesn't do. Like for example, I don't need to pop that. That should be popped already with the lock inside. But it tells you right there, you gotta, use something, probably the key, to pop that open. All those should be open. So instead I used my trusty pocket knife. And trying very hard to pop that out. There we go. And it does leave a little bit of a tab there, so you got to clean that out. And it tells you right there again some of the instructions. You wiggle in the lock in there, and you got to figure it out. Just wiggle it in there somehow, twist it back and forth, and then it'll just slide in. After you slide it in, you'll be able to turn the key to lock it, but don't. You can also see that these also have a little piece of metal extending itself, like an Allen wrench, and it is. You're going to be using that. As a matter of fact, here it is. You're going to unscrew this as much as you can so that you can bring out that leather piece or whatever that is. That's going to be the thing that goes underneath your rail, your other rail in the car. By unscrewing that nut, the more you unscrew it, that is going to be released even longer. That's one of the things that puzzled me when I first did this. If I knew that, I would have finished much faster. You do have to use 2 hands to get it out, but that strap right there is going to be crucial in how it's going to lock in to the rail that's in the car. Here's one where you can see that the screw is locking in the strap to put on the rack. So in this case, seems like I had to push a little bit hard. Finally, I discovered that if I unscrew this piece right here, then the strap is going to get longer. At first I thought if I unscrew it too much, it's going to get loose and I'm going to lose some parts. But it turned out that the more I unscrewed it, the longer this piece will be, and you can see there that's getting longer. I'm definitely going to have to use two hands to get that in there and unscrew it even more. This is the key to putting this on. You can see that barely over here on the left, there is an arrow that points to, like, I guess to the edge of the bar that is on the car. And right here, like, I needed a little more. I needed more than one hand to put it in there. And again, unscrew it more. The more you unscrew, the longer the strap will be. Again, this is super key in doing this. So I decided to put the camera down, use 2 hands, pop it in there, and boom, there it is. Magic. Now, of course, you want to align the bars as best you can to be equidistant, and there's that arrow that I was telling you about. I'm guessing it goes on that edge. Could it go on the other edge? Maybe. But I've seen other Outbacks with this rack, and it seems like that's where it's supposed to go. Now I'm using the Allen wrench to tie it. I tied it a little bit on one end. I tie it in on the other end, just to keep it consistent and seeing that it's even and also it's straight. Doing this at night wasn't a great idea, but it turned out all right. Then, as you're doing this and you're ready to tighten that, and you have it all tightened up, right? That strap is really locked in there and it's not going anywhere. And of course, again, the arrow pointing towards. Okay, so there it is. After a couple of hours trying to figure it out, the rack doesn't look that bad. I like it. It looks very good. And then when I drove it at night, I didn't hear too much noise. And here is the day after. As you can see, you pop in the other end there for the lock. That's my new solar panel, 100 watt. I'm not sure how to say that, Boji. I'm not sure, I'll figure that out later. Here's the other end. And they turn out very well. By the way, don't put the solar panel this way. You're not going to get a lot of energy. The sun's going to block partial shade. But anyway, it looks great, and I'm happy.